1,000 peasants versus 100 of every single tier 5 ranged unit in Mount and Blade Bannerlord 2. One of the tier 5 units does beat the 1,000 peasants. See if you can guess now. Stay tuned till the end to see if you were right. 100 versus 1,000. Oh, excuse me. Let's jump straight into round 1 and see if the Imperial Palatine Guards, the first 100 up, can do it. These guys kind of suck as a tier 5 unit, to be honest, but since they're tier 5, we're going to try them anyway. As these tier 5 units have a significant disadvantage in their numbers, I've selected a map with a nice incline and set them all to spread formation so that hopefully every single 100 archers can fire at the same time to give them the best shot of beating these 1,000 disgusting peasants. The peasants seem to be running in a strange formation there. Running spread out. I think they must have changed their formation. They must have just spread out. This is of course the AI controlling the peasants, so I have zero control in what these peasants actually do. I think they're just going to basically charge because they're stupid brainless peasants, so they're just running with their pitchforks and crappy little swords. But here we go, first engagement. Some of the Palatine Guards are spreading out a little. 90% of them are running in with their one-handed weapon. These Palatine Guards do not have a shield. They only have a one-handed sword, and of course the longbow being a primarily ranged unit. What happens here is a lot of the Palatine Guards are melee fighting, but the peasants for some reason are queuing up either side of the Palatine Guards, like forming like a queue to the right and a queue to the left. Very, very strange behaviour. Not sure why they're doing that, but what can I say? This is AI playing. Like I said, I have no control. If they're acting like complete tards, there's not much I can do about that. But the Palatine Guards are doing pretty well. They're down to, it looks like about 50. You know what would be helpful is if you had a counter at the top and you could see how many units are actually going to be killing. You know, any devs watching this, so a little bit of feedback there would be very helpful for me personally. But yeah, they're doing okay. They're not doing too bad. There are a lot of peasants just waiting on the sidelines still, some of them in the trees. The ranged units are stepping. So what's happening is there's a lot of melee fighting with the peasants, but there's also some ranged that are basically, I think they've like killed someone and they've run backwards to their main formation so that they can shoot and get off a couple of crossbow and bow hits, which is kind of helpful. That's probably what they want to do. There's a lot of reinforcements coming now though, and the peasants, they're just doing some weird formation. They're doing like the Macarena or the Can or something, just going back and forwards. I don't know, just peasants. They're clearly brainless. But there are a lot of reinforcements coming now. I'm interested to see what happens here, because these reinforcements, they look like they're just going to run straight head on into the Palatine Guards, and the Palatine Guards are going to have to all go melee if they run into them, because I think they're programmed to basically just run into someone who runs into, I mean, it looks like every well, so it looks like, right, so the right and left sides have now started to charge in. They're sandwiching the Palatine Guards. My goodness, if they had just done that in the first place, they probably would have won this in 2 seconds, and there's literally no Palatine Guards left. That was it. They sandwiched them, squished them, and defeated them. Easy mode. That's definitely a win for the peasants. Let's go to the next round. Here we go to round 2. Next up, we have the Imperial Sergeant Crossbowman. These guys are pretty powerful, to be honest. They've got a one-handed shield, one-handed sword, and a super powerful crossbow. And you can see by the range they're shooting from, they are shooting from some serious range getting kills. So if they carry on like this, they could, I wouldn't say could easily kill all 1,000, but they could definitely get it down to 700 they might kill, 600. Because look, I mean, that green bar is just going crazy. Now they do have a slightly long reload time, these crossbows. That goes with all crossbows. They just have to bend over, slide a crossbow bow into the slot in between the legs of the crossbow, fire it out, and shoot it out like a torpedo. So they do have some reload time, so that does work to their disadvantage. The closer the peasants get, and they're doing that crazy AI thing again. I don't know why the peasants do that. It's like they charge up to where they should engage and carry on, and then they just kind of fall back. I think they change formation. I think they might change to like loose or something based on being hit by a artillery weapon. I guess they're programmed like that. But again, they're doing it again. They're running forward. I mean, it's good for these 100 Imperial Sergeant Crossbowmen. It's good for them. They get to fire more crossbow bolts, and it makes it, to be honest, a lot more even, because this battle is just naturally favoured for the peasants. It's just 1,000 versus 100. That's crazy. That's 10 to 1? Is that right? 10 to 1? I think so. It's definitely not 100 to 1. Yeah, 10 to 1. So for every one Imperial Sergeant Crossbowman, there's 10 peasants. So
2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths.
10 versus 1. I mean, if I did a 10 versus 1 battle, probably be 10 peasants would always win, I think. So it kind of gives you an understanding of how close, well, how not close this should be. But the Imperial Sergeant Crossbowmen are actually doing really well. That bar at the top is, I mean, it's not even, but it's definitely really closer than the Imperial Palatine Guards. They're doing really, really well. I mean, I knew these guys would do well. They're super, super strong. They're one of my favourite ranged units, to be honest, as a tier 5. They're probably, let's see, so the peasants, again, are doing exactly what they did before, where they'll just stand on the side to the left and stand in a line to the right. Again, I have no idea why they do that. The AI seem to just, I don't know, they just want to view, eat some popcorn, and just watch their brothers in arms and comrades get slaughtered by the Imperial Sergeant Crossbowman. That seems to be what's happening. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen here, because what happened last time is these reinforcements that are coming in from behind, as soon as they reach the Imperial Sergeant Crossbowman, I think the sandwich thing happens. Now, that might have just been on the one-off with the Imperial Palatine Guards, could have possibly easily been a one-off. But what might happen is when these reinforcements get here, yep, I think, yeah, it has happened. Right, so it looks like I've kind of worked out the programming here. So as soon as these reinforcements come, both sides of that peasant army, each side, the lines, they just come straight in, and it looks like a sandwich. And this is the crutch point. If the Imperial Sergeant Crossbowman can survive this sandwich squasher, they might be able to do it. But God, it is hard. Look at that. I mean, that green bar withered right down. If they just did that from the start, I'm not sure any of these ranged units could actually win. But hey ho, 2-0 to the peasants. Let's go straight to round 3, where we have the Sturgian veteran Bowman. These guys are not too bad. They're similar to the Imperial Palatine Guards, where they've got the one-handed sword and a longbow. But the longbow the crossbows were firing much earlier than this. But let's see if these peasants can get a brain and level their IQ level up at least 2 points, because it seems like their tactic is pretty stupid. They run close. I think they're in a closed formation here, like a line formation, and then they keep running backwards and then forwards. But like I said, it's good for the ranged units. It means they can get a couple of shots off. One little guy on his own there just got killed, and they're starting to pick off the peasants quite easily now. Again, peasants do not have a shield, so this should be interesting. Let's see how many kills they can get. Shooting them all down. Well, that is a lot of peasants. Can you imagine that charging at you in the middle of nowhere, and you're in this battle and these peasants, 1,000 peasants just charge you. Stinking peasants, I should say. That would be a horrific sight. But let's see how these Sturgian veteran Bowmen do. Not doing too bad at the minute. They probably killed about, let's say that red bar is 1,000. They've probably killed 250 at this point by the time they get close enough. And the green bars, that's going down pretty quick. I think these peasants, I think they're gonna take this one. I mean, just from seeing the 3 battles that have happened, I mean, this is the 3rd battle. Just from seeing those 2 battles that have happened already, this isn't looking too great. Again, the peasants, they just stand around, not doing anything, waiting for their comrades to die. Is pretty stupid, really. But these guys, oh, they have an axe. They don't have a sword. They have an axe instead. So it should be, I mean, not that it makes a difference, still a one-handed weapon. They don't have a shield. I think, to be honest, the only ranged units that are going to be able to do this are probably any ranged unit with a one-handed sword and a shield, so that they can at least fight the first line, can kind of stand there with a shield and survive a few hits from every side. I think they're probably the only... Look, why are they're just looking at me. They're not even looking at the battle, these peasants. Like, what the hell? Weird peasants. Very, very stupid. Not doing too bad, but what's going to happen? I mean, I can pretty much tell you this is going to be a win for the peasants. As soon as those reinforcements get here, providing that the programming and AI does exactly what it's done for the last 2 battles, those reinforcements, I don't even know if the Sturgian veteran Bowman are going to survive until the reinforcements get here, to be honest. That green bar is super small. But as soon as those peasants get here, both sides of that peasant sandwich, that juicy, moist peasant sandwich, come charging in. Squishy, squishy, squishy. Veteran Sturgian Bowman become part of the sandwich. They become one with the peasant sandwich. they become the meat and cheese of the bread which forms the peasant sandwich. And they are dead. Easy mode. Peasants win again. Let's go to the next round, where we have got 100 Aserai Master Archers versus 1,000 stinking, disgusting peasants. Let's see how this one unfolds. This will be interesting. I'm not sure. My money is on the peasants again. I think the peasants will take it, to be honest. Watching these, basically none of the ranged units. I'm pretty sure the Battanian Fian champions are going to be the only ranged unit that are going to be able to beat these peasants. If you've ever seen the Battanian Fian champions fight before, they're like super transformer Megatron destroyers. They are ridiculous. They're actually OP in my opinion. I can't wait to watch that one. So that one, I think that's next. Might be the last one, I'm not sure. But these Aserai Master Archers, they're not doing too bad. They're actually doing pretty well. They're getting a lot of kills. They are firing a lot of arrows. Like I said, to keep this test completely neutral and to try and get the best similar kind of advantages for the ranged units, always on the same map, always at a slant. I keep the ranged units at a kind of like a 30-degree almost slant so that all of the ranged units can fire, and I put them in loose formation. And you can see the Aserai Master Archers going into melee. Similar kind of turnout to what's been happening, where a couple of the ranged units will stay in ranged in the middle, and the outside parts of the ranged units, so the outside lines will meet the side. They've got like 100 peasants on the right, 100 peasants on the left, probably more actually. And each side of those fight, and the middle archers just stay in the middle. That's kind of how it's been unfolding. But the interesting thing that does happen is when the reinforcements get here, both sides squash the archers. So as long as the Aserai Master Archers can kill enough peasants by the time those reinforcements get here, I think they have a good chance. But that bar is not looking too great, if I'm honest. It's not looking too healthy. Green is about, well, that's actually quite significantly under half, which means they've got about 40 soldiers left. Not looking too good for the Aserai Master Archers, to be honest. Let's see if they can survive the reinforcements that get here. I don't think they will. Like I said, I think it needs to be a ranged unit with a shield to actually win this one. Or Battanian Fian champion OP units. They're probably the only ones that are going to be able to do this. But let's find out. Reinforcements are on their way. As soon as they get here, we'll see the very moist, very nice peasant sandwich should be coming up. So you got a couple hundred on the left, a couple hundred on the right. As soon as these reinforcements get here we go. Is it gonna go? Yeah, it looks like it. So I can tell you already, that green bar is literally 0 by the time the sandwich happens. So peasant sandwich, Aserai Master Archers didn't manage to do it. Let's go to the next round. Can anyone beat these 1,000 peasants? Let's find out. Here we go, next round, and we've got the Vlandian Sharpshooters. These guys are probably one of the best ranged unit, tier 5 ranged units in the game of Mount and Blade Bannerlord 2. Look at the size of that shield. That is ridiculous. How do they even carry that? Honestly, that is ridiculous. And they're just carrying it on their back like it's nothing. And shooting a crossbow and bending over. That's just crazy. Like that shit. To be honest, I think these guys are going to do it. They've got the ranged bonus damage, they've got good range, they've got powerful crossbows, they've got a good one-handed weapon, and a super big shield. I think if I had to bet money on this, which I don't, if I had to bet money, I would say these Vlandian Sharpshooters are probably going to do it. But let's find out. For some reason, the peasants are doing what they normally do. They're doing the cha-cha-cha Macarena. They reform their line, run forward, run backwards. Are they going to do it again? Or are they going to just run forward? No. So they did the Macarena again. Did the cha-cha slide. Went forward, came back, reformed their line. Hundreds got picked off. I mean, they are killing a lot. These Vlandian Sharpshooters, they've nearly equaled the bar at the top. That's almost like an even bar. It's close to even anyway. And this is going to be very interesting to see how well these Vlandian Sharpshooters do. Because they, like I said, they got a super good way of having a shield wall at the front and having the archers at the back. If you were going to do this battle, I mean, if I was actually going to control these units, right now I'm really doing it just for science. I'm putting them in one formation, which is loose, on a hill, and leaving them to their own devices. I'm going to let the AI do whatever it likes. One formation, see how the fight goes, just for science, to see which units are more powerful and which units aren't powerful. But if I was going to do this properly, you'd probably put maybe 50 archers at front, make them do a shield wall, maybe. Actually, you'd probably have them all firing initially, but you'd have like a 50 archer shield wall. You'd probably do the circle, actually, maybe a circle formation. I might try that next. Put them in a circle formation, and then have some ranged units right in the middle, just shooting from the outside. That would probably work really well. But as for this fight, it's going pretty well for the Vlandian Sharpshooters. They're doing pretty well. It's unfolding similar to how most of these fights have been unfolding, where you get the popcorn eaters on the right and the popcorn eaters on the left, not really doing much, waiting for their fellow soldiers and fellow brothers in arms to be slaughtered at the mercy of these Vlandian Sharpshooters. But this looks super close. Even if this turned into a full-on melee battle right now, that bar is 50-50, and my money would be on the Vlandian Sharpshooters. So I think, unless this sandwich, this peasant sandwich, really screws them over, I think the Vlandian Sharpshooters have got this one. Let's see what happens. Reinforcements are coming here. Reinforcements are coming in. Sandwich is taking place. Squishy. Moist sandwich getting squashed. What is gonna... And it looks like the peasants are starting to run away. Yeah, they are. Well, there's a couple... I mean, I think there's about 20 of them fighting at one Vlandian Sharpshooter there. But Vlandian Sharpshooters have done it. And there's quite a few left. I'll count at the end, but there's probably about 60 left here. Oh, actually, probably about 40. It's just under half. That was impressive. I did think that these Vlandian Sharpshooters had a good chance based on what I'd seen before. And look at all those corpses. Excellent. So we have a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. If you put money on this in the beginning, good job. You bet on the Vlandian Sharpshooters and you won nothing. But you were right. And being right in life is the most important thing, isn't it? Winning. Winning is the best. Winning is what's important in life. Remember that. We'll have some prizes in the future, maybe. Let's see. Let's go to the next round and see who's up next. Ladies and gentlemen, up next, we have the moment you've all been waiting for. The one, the only, the Battanian Fian champions. Tier 6. I know this is a Tier 5 test, but these Tier 6 units are so badass, I wanted to see how easily they could destroy these 1,000 disgusting, stinky, brainless AI peasants. So let's see. They are killing. They've actually killed way more. You can see that green is like ding, 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 like a Las Vegas casino. That bar, that red bar is getting absolutely torn apart. Pretty much I can say that they've won already, to be honest. Like, these guys are so good at melee, even though they're a ranged unit. This is going to be a walk in the park. But if you think about it, 10-1, these Battanian Fian champions were able... Well, I mean, I'm saying they've won, but they haven't actually won yet. They might lose. I might get completely surprised and, peasants turn into super Megatron destroyer Terminator robots and, absolutely destroy the Battanian Fian champions. But highly unlikely. But let's see how it unfolds. That red bar... I mean, there's hardly any Battanian Fian champions who've actually died. That is crazy, ridiculous. My good, they're running already. Reinforcements didn't even get there before they ran off the first. Oh my god, that was an absolute stomp, man. These guys are ridiculous. They're so strong. Didn't even lose. What? How many did they lose? It looks like about 5. That tiny little dot. The reinforcements, literally, the reinforcements haven't even made it. But let's have a look at the remaining reinforcements. These guys have no... Oh, look at that headshot. These guys have no idea they are running to their death. Oh yes, we're gonna come reinforce our friends, Battling Arms. Oh, and they're just gonna get wiped out. They're not even gonna make it. I bet not one of them make it. Look, they're running already. None of them are gonna make it to the Battanian Fian champions before they're all slaughtered. Oh, what a waste of life. For some reason they ran backwards, again giving themselves even less chance, but let's just watch them all die. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mount & Blade 2 Science. Thanks for tuning in. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.